people think I'm successful because I'm smarter or because I'm rich or whatever. I'm only these things because I keep going, because I don't quit when I fail. If you're looking to achieve things that the vast majority of the world has not yet achieved, you're going to have to grasp a mindset that the vast majority of the world has never grasped. I watched this video that was sent to me by somebody who I definitely cherish, and it was crypto based. And I listened to it on my drive. And of course, they're saying, guys, we're telling you not to be short sighted. A lot of the people who are making money, they're not getting reactive. Yes, their portfolio was down. It was probably down a lot, like maybe 70%. Like that is mentally and emotionally difficult, right? But some of those people also changed their life within a very short amount of time. So when we talk about crypto, when we talk about investing, when we talk about all the things we're talking about, there's so much on the table. There's so much to make, but no, it is not easy. And yes, it will be hard. You cannot be short sighted. You will not win every week. Your portfolio, your broker account, your Forex, your futures is not going to be up all the time. You're looking for the net gain over time. Over time, that's it. And you stay the course. If you jump ship every time you have the down on the crypto, the this on the that, the losing week, you're going to maintain being a quote loser. And I don't want to talk to people that way, but you're going to stay a loser because you got out at a losing period. That's just math. That's just fact.
Well, let's back it off from trading for a minute. In life, you don't get rewarded for not taking risks. The
Sure.
people who end up making money are people who are willing to take risks and risk failure. They say that 95% of small businesses fail
Yeah.
within 5 years. And the people that have managed to survive that can set themselves up for life. And the only way to take no risk, or at least virtually no risk in markets or with your money, is to have money sitting in a savings account earning less than 1% interest that's insured up to $250,000. But there's still risk. It's just relatively low that, the wheels come off the financial system. But it's the lowest risk you can do with your money, but it doesn't pay anything. So if you want to make money, you need to risk money.
No, no way around that part. Well said.
You
And
took the words right out of my mouth. Good morning, y'all. And going back to adding on to what just Scott just said is even if you look at just regular investments or whatnot, anytime there's turbulence in the market and stocks are going down, a lot of people don't sort of look at the longer page and realize that it's the longevity that you're actually in it. So if you're actually investing into something, instead of looking to return, within the next couple of weeks, month, or even a year to become a millionaire, the money is made when the red is there, when it's bleeding in the streets. That's when the sharks come out and they're buying on those discounts and then they hold. And then not only do they hold for 5 years, 10 years, sometimes way as well that you can physically look at it. You may take your little hits here and there, get a few black eyes early on, but it's those who actually stick with it and stay through the turbulent times and come through and look at this as, you hope to get it at a sooner pace, but sometimes it may take 5 years. Sometimes it may even take 10 years. But as long as you stay in it, you'll come out on the other side.
that, I guess I'm taking my active sell on US 30. I'm marking it up. I'm looking, you're protecting within 200 to 300 pips. I'm gonna finish marking this up. But let's stay on that. Scott said something about the brokers, you guys. It is an unstable environment. There's no way around that. So if anybody, including myself, gives you a recommendation on a prop firm, on a broker, on anything, please treat it as experimental. Because even if, let's say, I got my money out of AFX, that's a great example. But remember, they deleted my live account, and then they told me it didn't exist. I was like, "What? Huh?" And remember, a lot of y'all used AFX and never had a problem with them before, right? This is part of the journey. Now, supposedly they're back to the safe list. They're part of Baby Pips's list of 10. I think they're one of the starred ones, which I find astronomical, but I mean, it is what it is. This whole playground as a whole is very, very unstable. So please know it does add a layer of complexity when we're jumping from ship to ship. No, I'm trying to maintain the peace of mind of, hey, you can trade naked and you can use golden strategy as a standalone. You can use it as an entry method. You obviously have a couple of other things at your disposal, and we have more to offer as well. But we're trying to stay true in that department. This way people don't get too thrown around. But the broker hopping and well, this one has DX trade and this one got rid of MT4 and now this one doesn't take US citizens and this one's, execution time is this and this one's liquidity pool is this. It does add a very, very, very deep layer of complexity that we need to be prepared for. And that means find your way to woosah, and I can't decide that for you. But you also can't emotionally be reactive to the people in your circle. Because whether that was my children or myself, and I can't treat my people, my family, my community in this I'm freaking out methodology. I have to be able to have some way to self-regulate, take a breath, take a woosah, okay, and say, okay, I'm gonna figure it out. I don't know how yet. I don't know what the heck this problem is, but I'm gonna do my thing and walk the beach or eat my pie, and then I'm gonna figure out this next complexity and this next complexity and this next complexity and do that over and over and over again. That's literally our only job. And the complexity of the broker thing is very daunting. It is very hard. And even for me, you got to think I've got lots of servers. I've got lots of man, it's exhausting. It's mentally and emotionally draining. It's horrible. But we have to find that way. And there was this part on this show, I think it's called Scorpion, but they're like a group of geniuses. They're kind of all a little socially awkward, but they're solving stuff and they're handling world problems. On the end of one episode, there's this bajillionaire guy, think Elon Musk, but for TV form, and he's building this super smart building, right? He's building this, everything is intelligent, everything is biometric, everything is it's a bajillion-dollar building. Well, something happens and the guy he took funding from tries to sabotage the project, and the team of geniuses is sitting outside of this smoke-filled building. People's lives were at danger, like some of their own children. Okay, and the whole team of geniuses, the Scorpion crew, is sitting next to him. They say, "Hey, at least you tried." But he looks at him and goes, What do you mean? At least I tried. I'm doing it. I'm not done. I'm doing it again." And he looks at him and says, "People think I'm successful because I'm smarter or because I'm rich or whatever. I'm only these things because I keep going, because I don't quit when I fail." And mind you, this is astronomical level, all of his capital. This is all of his money. This is the only building in the world that does these things. It's everything. He's fully invested here. And the darn thing just blew up, okay? Like it's for most of us, that would be the walkaway moment, right? That would be the cash in our chips moment. But I believe that to my core is the reason why people who are successful on an Elon Musk level, a Steve Jobs level, is you have to be a little crazy. You have to be a little delusional to be able to stay the course through that many sessions of failure. You have to be a little out of this world level thought process. So prepare yourself. If you're looking to achieve things that the vast majority of the world has not yet achieved, you're going to have to grasp a mindset that the vast majority of the world has never grasped, which is an ability to keep going in the face of literal explosion, of literal every one of your hopes and dreams and the feelings. Okay, these are your plans, these are your everything. There's money, there's emotion, there's your livelihood is tied to this stuff. So take that on whatever level you need to take it on and think about it. Like, don't listen to me. Go look it up. The people who do great things, I promise you, they are no better, no smarter, no richer. Some of them may or may not have had more connections, but the difference maker is the fact that they get back up one more time. They do it again one more time. That Stephen Furtick, do it again, do it again, do it again thing. That's really all we're going to be doing in these brokers, in this environment, in the futures. And if you can get that part, I don't know when, I don't know which EA, I don't know what method, I don't know which team or strategy or broker or prop is going to be the one that does it for you. I don't know if it'll be Forex or futures. I just know that you'll get there. And it might be in the most unique paths possible, but it's on its way. And I think that's super exciting.
I think, Jenny, we got to keep our eyes on the prize at all times as we go forward, because in winning and being successful, there's challenges every day that we have to take. You know, most people fail in business because they mentally fail. They believe they can't succeed, and then they don't succeed. But if you believe you can succeed, you're going to find a way to continue to go. And in this industry right here, they're weeding out the weak. That's what they're really doing, because everybody's not meant to succeed. Everybody can't go to the dance, and they just keep on making changes and see who's going to fall by the wayside. And it's a challenge every day. Every time I sit down at church, I think I got something figured out, and then something else pops up, and I'm saying, "What the heck?" You know, well, what's going on? It's a pessimistic mentality that I take optimistic overall view. I'm going to get there, but it's going to be a challenge to get there. And when I
That
get there, I'll know when I finally see what I need to see. Because once you see, you cannot see. But they change the game, you know, every day. They're not leaving the game the same. You know, with your algorithms, with the AIs and everything else, you know, the market makers, it's a challenge, and they're just trying to weed out who really aren't meant to be in this game because this is gotta have a strong will, you know, to play this game that we're playing.
you really do have to have a strong will.
Now, the other thing you'll find is that people who have successfully built a business tend not to fear going bust
Yeah,
because
you can't be afraid to fail.
well,
Can't be
they
afraid to fail.
understand that it wasn't that hard to build it. Once you get the keys to how to build something, you can always build it again. It might not be that exact same thing because the opportunity may not be there. But you understand that, the process is not terribly difficult.
No.
So,
Rinse and repeat mentality, Scott. You're right.
exactly. And, you'll find that a lot of owners of successful businesses have failed multiple times in the past.
More times than they have succeeded.
Yep. Because once you succeed, you often stick.
Yeah.
Look up how many times Abraham Lincoln failed in politics.
And then back to Harold's point, when I saw all those kids running for track, I watched as these kids, and these are children, mind you. Come on, we are all supposed to be adults here. I watched these kids. You could tell the ones who were running their own race, and again, that sounds like such a simple statement, but you can also see the ones that their shoulders drop, their head changes, their maneuvers, their stride length, yes, but everything about how and they're running and how they're performing changes when the person is running their own race and the one who is feeling that guy come up next to them or gets past, right? It's such a beautiful thing to watch. So back to Harold's point, run your own race, right? Yes, somebody might pass you. And if that's the moment where your shoulders shrug, your stride goes just a few inches smaller, you slow down a little because you feel like you're not going to hit first, that is the moment you're done. You're over. But there are people who somebody passes them, they maintain running their own race regardless of what's happening in that lane next to them, regardless of what's happening with the brokers and everything, blah, 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 blah. And they keep on their pace. Their stride does not change. Their head does not droop. Their head does not lean forward. Like, because it's such a profound thing to watch, even in children. Their whole body slump down because you can't run as fast when your shoulders are doing this, right? It's so crazy, but it was something to think about. If when you're doing all these hard things, are you running your own race? Or are you worried about what's happening next to you? Because maybe fine, your neighbor started the car wash business and they just bought their new BMW and they're doing great. And you're over here going, I'm going to be a billionaire in this Forex trading thing. And you're still not quite driving your BMW. If that is your level of decision making, we got to change that because it's not about anybody else's race. It's not about what's going on and with anybody else.
Well, and
Hey,
running your own race is very much akin to learning who you are as a trader, to bring it right back into the trading. It's different runners know how they sustain the length of the race that they're doing. They know that I'm better off holding back in the beginning and then kicking it at the end, or whatever it might be. It depends on how your physiology is built, how you've trained, and everything else. And as a trader, you need to think in terms of this is how I work the best.
And you have to know that. And Scott can't tell you that. Jenny can't tell you that. Jenny might tell you I like New York session or like this, but it might not be best for Jonathan. It might not be best for Robert. That is a huge point. For those of y'all who caught that, everything.